I came here today because I believe from the bottom of my heart that it is vitally important for those of us who hold different views to be able to engage in a civil discourse.
Alongside Miranda Kahn, J.D. Hayworth welcoming you back to Newsmax Prime. And you just saw Democratic presidential candidate Bernie Sanders in what we might call uncharted territory earlier today as he became the first Democrat presidential contender to speak at Liberty University, an evangelical school known for its deeply rooted conservative Christian foundation. So why would a pro-choice, pro-gay rights, self-described Democrat socialist be reaching out to those conservative students?
That's a good question. For more insight, we want to welcome in Kristen Soltis Anderson. She is the author of The Selfie Vote, Where Millennials Are Leading America. She's also the co-founder of Echelon Insights, a polling research firm. Welcome to Newsmax Prime. Good to have you.
Oh, thank you for having me.
And Kristen, I'm just wondering about this. You count the numbers, you keep track of this thing. He's not going in expecting to get a landslide of millennial voters at Liberty University, or is he? What's the method behind this unlikely errand?
It's certainly the case that Republicans do better among evangelical Christian voters. But what I think Bernie Sanders has understood that's pretty savvy is that young evangelicals are pretty different and look at their religion in maybe a different way than their parents' or grandparents' generation. In The Selfie Vote, I write a lot about how young evangelicals are growing up, doing a lot of service projects, a lot of mission trips, very focused on not just quote unquote the social issues, which is normally what we think about when we think of religion and politics, but about issues of economic justice and race and inequality, things like immigration reform. These are issues that the evangelical community sort of approaches in a way that sometimes the media doesn't always cover. And so I think Bernie Sanders understands that you have a lot of young evangelicals who are very concerned about how are we going to alleviate poverty in America? How are we going to, create jobs and economic opportunity? And while Republicans, the normal party, the party that I belong to, we have a very different view than Bernie Sanders about how to do that. I think he's very smart in reaching out to younger voters who are evangelicals because he sees that by talking about these issues, he could expand his appeal into sort of uncharted territory.
Well, Sanders, as we all know, has been surging in the polls. So with that being said, would it be worthwhile for Hillary Clinton, who has spoken out about how her religion has shaped her politics, to go after young evangelicals like Sanders?
I think it's important for candidates to be very frank about where they stand, wherever that may be. In the case of Bernie Sanders, in the clip that you just showed, I mean, he's sort of laying bare that, look, there's some stuff that we're not going to agree on. And I'm not here to try to pander or change what I believe on certain issues. As you mentioned, he's pro-choice, he's pro-same-sex marriage. Unlikely to be an issue where he agrees with a ton of the students that he was speaking to. But I think by being very candid is where you can find an appeal. And that's something that Hillary Clinton has always struggled with. Even when I think maybe she really is being honest, she always just sounds like she's not being completely candid with what she believes, or like she's trying to pander or trying to massage a message in such a way that it sounds right for the audience she's speaking to at the moment. I would like to see her, I'd be fascinated to watch her try to reach out to constituencies where she has not reached before. She certainly has not made as much of an effort to win young evangelicals. But I think the thing that Bernie Sanders does that makes him so appealing to young voters of all ideologies is that he sounds kind of refreshing and different from what people normally expect. And even if ideologically they're not with him, they're willing to at least listen to what he has to say because he sounds so unique.
While you talk about the themes these candidates voice, I got to get you back to the numbers since you're also a pollster, Kristen. And this latest YouGov CBS News poll showed Bernie Sanders leading Hillary by 22 points among Democrats in New Hampshire. Other polls now have him ahead of Hillary in Iowa. Is it too soon to say Hillary could be facing political extinction?
What I've heard from both other pollsters and just from taking a look at all of these surveys that have come out in the last 2 weeks, we have echoes of 2008 happening again. It's not certain that that Bernie Sanders will be the next Barack Obama. I think for all that Bernie Sanders has going for him, he is not the same kind of political talent that Barack Obama was, and his positions are a little even further outside the mainstream than Barack Obama was 8 years ago. But it is certainly the case that Hillary Clinton is slipping with key constituencies that formed the Obama coalition, whether that's African-American voters in the Democratic Party, Latinos, whether it's younger voters, really younger voters in particular, are where Bernie Sanders is doing quite well. So you're seeing, if you look in the crosstabs, the hints of 2008 sort of coming back and haunting Hillary yet again.
Well, with the short time that we have remaining, I want to talk about Ben Carson. Let's take a look at the GOP side if we can. He's been winning among white evangelicals while Donald Trump is not. According to the latest poll by the Quinnipiac University, Ben Carson is out polling Donald Trump among evangelicals in Iowa. What do you think it is about Ben Carson that is more appealing to evangelicals than Donald Trump? And we have about 30 seconds remaining for your answer.
Some of it is stylistic. I think Ben Carson, in his approach of being a little more soft-spoken, really thoughtful, he embraces his religion in an authentic way. I think Trump's kind of bombastic style may rub some evangelical voters the wrong way, which is why you're seeing that divide.
Well, Kristen, we will keep an eye on it. For now, we appreciate your analysis. Kristen Soltis Anderson, again, the author of the book, The Selfie Vote. It's an interesting way to put it with the generational changes we see here.
I like the title.
Regardless of where you fit in on the Democratic or the demographic scale, we want you to exercise your democratic ability to comment on this, your First Amendment right. Here is the way you let us know how you feel on this subject of presidential politics. Send us your comments, commonsensically enough, at newsmaxtv.com/comments. There's more ahead, so stay with us here on Newsmax Prime.